UN officials visit Europe's largest atomic power plant in Ukraine, and Navy sailors get some help from Amelia. All that and more today, June 16th, 2023. Good morning, early birds. I'm Zamone Perez, and this is the Early Bird Brief, produced by Defense News and Military Times. Just a reminder, we will be off Monday for Juneteenth, but tune in Tuesday for a conversation with Craigslist founder Craig Newmark and Kathy Roth-Duquette, the CEO of Blue Star Families. Now, some of you might think, wait a second, I'm not in the market for a couch or a set of kitchen plates, but get this. Newmark announced he was donating $100 million to military families. Our Capitol Hill Bureau Chief Leo Shane III will sit down with him and Kathy next week to discuss their vision for the donation and its hopeful impact for military families. Now, on with the episode. First up, officials are keeping a close eye on the largest atomic power plant in Ukraine and Europe. The head of the United Nations Atomic Watchdog Agency visited the plant yesterday. The Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant has repeatedly been caught in the crossfire since Russia launched its war on Ukraine in February 2022 and seized the facility shortly after. Last week, the destruction of the Kakhovka Dam in the partially Russian-occupied Kherson region added a new concern. The dam had helped keep water in a reservoir that cools the plant's reactors. The plant's 6 reactors have been shut down for months, but it still needs power and qualified staff to operate cooling systems and other safety features. Rafael Mariano Grossi, the International Atomic Energy Agency chief, met with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky this week to discuss the concerns about the plant. The IAEA has repeatedly expressed alarm about fears of a potential nuclear catastrophe. The agency has officials stationed at the plant, which is still run by its Ukrainian staff. The visit comes as NATO military leaders meet to discuss support for the country. Yesterday, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin urged nations to continue their commitment to provide training and equipment to Ukraine for the long haul.
And Ukraine's fight is a marathon and not a sprint. So we will continue to provide Ukraine with the urgent capabilities that it needs to meet this moment, as well as what it needs to keep itself secure for the long term from Russian aggression.
Austin spoke at a meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group at NATO headquarters in Brussels, which included defense officials from roughly 50 countries working to support Kyiv. Another important story, the Air Force would get 6 more F-15EX Eagle II fighters in fiscal year 2025 under the House Armed Services Committee proposed version of the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act. The proposal could boost the Air Force's effort to buy more new fighters to modernize its fleet if enacted. That would bring the service's total Eagle II purchases to 30. It would also bring advanced procurement funding for the F-15EX to $320 million. A senior congressional aide said the committee wants to increase the fighter purchases to speed up the pace at which it's replacing older fighters. When combined with the Air Force's purchase of 48 new F-35A fighters, the service would get 78 new fighters in 2025. The service's budget documents show it plans to request 24 Boeing-made F-15EX jets in 2025, the same amount as in 2023 and 2024. But the chairman's markup of the draft budget bill, released last week, includes an additional $92 million in advanced procurement funding to buy 6 more of those fighters in 2025. The Air Force plans to buy 104 F-15EXs in all. If the additional aircraft in the proposed budget become a reality, it would mean 110 F-15EXs for the program. The new version of the 4th generation F-15 fighter is upgraded with advanced avionics and better electronic warfare capabilities. In other news, have you met Amelia? That's the Navy's conversational artificial intelligence tech support tool. For more on this, C4ISR net reporter Colin Demarest joins us to share more. So Colin, I understand that Amelia is capable of troubleshooting and even resolving the most commonly asked tech support questions from sailors, Marines, and even civilian personnel, right? But can you tell us more about the ways this will be a helpful tool for folks? Is artificial intelligence, taking over our military or taking over the world?
So, one, no. AI isn't going to take over the world despite the rampant Skynet and Cortana and Hall jokes. But, as you said, Amelia is trained to help solve basic tech support issues like locked accounts. One big boon here is that she'll always be available 24/7, 365, and could serve as many as 1 million users. The Navy and General Dynamics Information Technology plan on fully rolling out Amelia this summer. The company is also eyeing potential applications in the classified space, but I don't have much detail there.
So how and when can people access Amelia?
Sailors, Marines, and other personnel will be able to access Amelia if they have a Common Access Card, or CAC, and can be verified through the Global Federated User Directory, or GFUD. Basically, you'll just give Amelia a ring or send it a message, and it will respond. And if Amelia can't solve your problems, it has the ability to forward the matter onto a living, breathing person, so that human-to-human interaction is still completely available.
And Colin, can you tell us more about some of the metrics so far in terms of the number of people getting their questions answered and things like that?
According to GDIT, Amelia has significantly reduced the number of abandoned tech support calls and testing. Travis Dawson, the company's chief technology officer for the Navy and Marine Corps sector, told me people are getting their answers much quicker than ever before. The first contact resolution rate, he said, is up in the 90th percentile. And if you ask me, less time sitting on the phone listening to awful hold music is always a good thing.
Thanks, Colin. For more conversations like that one, please like and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Also on your radar for today, Army officials confirmed that the commanding general of the service's fire school at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, was relieved. Major General Kenneth Camper was under investigation by the service's Inspector General for violating hunting regulations at the Oklahoma Post. That is according to a report from military.com. The Lawton-Constitution first reported Camper's firing. Army spokesperson Cynthia Smith told Army Times that Camper was removed due to a, quote, loss of trust and confidence in his ability to command. The Army Fire Center of Excellence, Camper's former command, is Army Training and Doctrine Command's site for training both field artillery and air defense artillery troops. He isn't the only general from the command to face Inspector General scrutiny in recent years. Now retired Major General Pat Donahoe led the maneuver school at Fort Moore, Georgia. A lengthy investigation prevented him from leaving the service on time. Donahoe's case raised concerns over the weaponization of administrative complaint systems like the IG. He detailed his critiques in a January interview with Army Times following his retirement. It's not yet clear how the allegations against Camper were reported, nor is it clear how long the investigation has been underway. Camper did not immediately respond to an emailed request for comment. He took command of the Oklahoma Post in March 2020. And now here are some other stories that we're hearing chirps about. Prosecutors said Wednesday an Army private first class pleaded guilty to plotting the murder of U.S. service members on behalf of the Islamic State. A sailor living in Virginia Beach was sentenced to 20 years in prison Tuesday in U.S. District Court after being convicted of dealing illegal machine guns. A grand jury indicted Marine veteran Daniel Penny with manslaughter in the New York City subway chokehold death of Jordan Neely. And North Korea launched 2 ballistic missiles toward the sea yesterday in protest of U.S.-South Korea military drills. And on this day in history, in 1963, Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman in space. That's it for us this morning. To get more top stories and breaking news, go to defensenews.com/EBB to subscribe to the Early Bird Brief newsletter. Please give us a like, rating, and a comment wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us on social media @defense_news and @Military Times. The Early Bird Brief is hosted and produced by me, Zimone Z. Perez. Today's episode features stories by the Associated Press, Jonathan Lehrfeld, Stephen Losey, Colin Demarest, and Rachel Cohen. Our editor-in-chief is Mike Cruz. Have a great day.